Billy, it's working. Hey, Rhonda.
Hey. Bright. I feel like I'm glowing.
Audrey, there's a Google Sheet that I can email you. If you'll send me your email address, I will make sure you get that Google Doc. And what it is it just allows us to know that more than one person are taking this course at the same time on the same computer, and I will get that information to you. All right, it is 2 o'clock. Irvin's having some computer issues, so he's not going to join right now. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the bowling webinar. Today is Tuesday. We are coming to the end of this second round of virtual trainings. Kind of sad about it. I've really enjoyed doing these. Today, our special guest is Rhonda Standridge from Area 17. So she is on the call with us today. You'll get to hear all of her expertise about bowling. Thank you for joining us. At the end of the call, I think Irvin will go through his typical spiel, if you've been on these calls before, about our new coaches progression plan. But we'll go ahead and get this call started with bowling, and then we'll kind of follow up at the end with some different things that are going on in the future. And we do have a couple things that we rolled out yesterday through our newsletter that we will go ahead and make that announcement for also at the end of this webinar, that we want you guys to know that's happening next month, to kind of talk about what's happening next through Special Olympics Arkansas and how we can go ahead and start planning for future things with our athletes, and how we're going to start the ball rolling on practices in the future. I'm going to turn it over to Rhonda though, and I think you're unmuted. So Rhonda, go right ahead. This is Rhonda Standridge from Bologna.
Hey guys, as Jennifer said, my name's Rhonda Standridge. I'm from Bologna. I am the Unified Champion School Liaison there. I coach all the Bologna sports mostly. Um, so my daughter Emily is my biggest. She's like my most favorite Special Olympian. Sorry guys, but anyway, I guess we'll just get started here. So the basics on bowling. It is a year-round sport. You can bowl anytime of the year. It's always cold in the bowling alley, so you might want to bring a sweater. Our culminating state events are the state bowling competition and then our state unified bowling, which is for unified champion schools only. We offer singles, doubles, and teams, the double being a 2-man team, a team being a 4-person team. Unified doubles and unified team bowling are for UCS schools only. And then we have ramp bowling. Uniform. So for the uniform, all bowling team members should wear shirts and shorts or pants that are identical in color and style if applicable. Athletic attire, no jeans. Shoes, the bowling shoes must be worn by all competitors unless told otherwise. Sometimes at state bowling, they'll say that we don't need to wear bowling shoes, but they are available at each venue. Our equipment. We need a bowling ball, a properly fitting ball is essential. Finding the proper finger fitting and proper weight are the most important factors, extremely important, and I'll go over those later. You'll need it. If you have your own bowling ball, you will need a bowling bag. Some people use a rosin bag to, it just helps dry your hands out some, and a towel to wipe off the dirt and oil and to keep your ball good and clean. Bowling rules. Number 1, and under general bowling rules, lane assignments will be done either with schools or agencies staying together for state bowling or by heat and division. Please plan accordingly for chaperones to cover all of your bowlers at events. Sometimes it gets spread out pretty wide, so we need a chaperone with each group. Bowlers may only enter one event offered, and then bowlers are placed into heats based upon the average scores submitted by the coach. Terminology and safety. So you may hear me say some of these words while we're in this training. Foul line, very important. Arrows. The arrows are the marks on the lanes that helps you for ball placement. An open is where you roll your ball your 2 turns and you don't knock all the pins down. Spare is where you knock some down the first time and then clean up the rest on your second try. Strike, when they all go tumbling down. A double is when you get 2 strikes, and a turkey is when you get 3 strikes, and that's very exciting. Okay. Under safety, we have picking balls for competition. So we always need to be aware of the limitations of our athletes, but also for our athletes that don't have physical limitations. I see a lot of times that they use balls that are too light for them, and that can cause issues as well if they get a little excited and throw the ball a little too hard. I have seen kids, very young kids, throw it so hard that it almost hits the ceiling. So we need to be aware of what our athletes can actually handle. Retrieving balls that are stuck in the gutter or stop rolling. We need to never walk down the lane, never walk down the return part. I know that like a lot of times at my center, because I volunteer there quite a bit, I am allowed to go and do that. So then when the kids see me walk down the middle of the ball return, they want to do it too. And that's a big, big, big no-no. So coaches always have someone that works at the center retrieve those balls for you. The ball return area, be very careful there, because those balls, when they come back through, they hurt if they hit your fingers. So be very careful and have our kids stand back or our adult athletes stand back away from the ball return until the ball stops moving, because it really, really hurts. Our seating area, we need to keep that seating area picked up. We need to put our shoes where they belong when we're, changing into our bowling shoes. If we brought our own equipment and we have bowling bags, always put those where people don't trip over them, because that's always a risk. The majority, every center I know of has no food or drinks in the pit area. Everything needs to stay back on the carpeted area or in a designated area. If you spill anything and your shoes get wet, that's a big safety concern. If they get food stuck on the bottom, that's another safety concern, because everything is so slippery up there. We need to be really careful with food and drink. And please, 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 after all competitions, just do some little housekeeping. Put your balls back on the rack, take your shoes back to the counter. I know that the bowling centers really appreciate that. And honestly, it looks good for your team that they know how to take care of their business. Okay, Baker's method. I know this is a very confusing thing for a lot. It is what we will use for our UCS schools. If you'll go ahead and, okay. So, okay. The Baker's format places an emphasis on the team effort rather than the individual. So what it is, basically, singles, you don't have Baker's. So doubles and teams will do the Baker's method. So there's a little diagram there that shows you on doubles, frame and bowler, and you just kind of switch off as you go. You do a full turn. So if you, one full turn before you switch. It's not every other ball, it's every other frame. So typically our UCS schools or whoever's using the Bakers, they'll bowl 2 games. Instead of each player having his or her own score, it's the combined effort of the team. So they will add both together, and that is your score. Let's see, this is in the Baker format. Double partners take turns bowling frames with 1 game as opposed to 2 bowlers playing 2 separate games. Each bowler bowls 1 frame at a time, regardless of the number of pins on the lane. So if they throw a strike, their turn's over. It's the next person's turn. So sorry, I'm trying to read ahead and it's not working for me. So scores entered on a state level registration form should be the double score, not individual score. And the average is the total of the 2 games. So you would have your Baker's team bowl their 2 games, add those 2 scores together, and that's your average of those 2 games. A backup 2-game average is also requested. This is to place the athletes in single competition should their partner scratch. So that's very important, because if our partner scratches for whatever reason, we still want our remaining athlete to be able to participate and have a good time. And that's about it for doubles. Now we can move on to teams. Teams will use the Baker format. A team must register with 4 bowlers. They will bowl 2 games. Instead of each player having his or her own score, the combined effort of the team constitutes a game. So the team members take turns bowling within 1 game, as opposed to 4 bowlers bowling separate games. Each bowler bowls a frame at a time, regardless of the number of pins on the lane. So if the player throws a strike, he or she completes the frame. So this is a little bit trickier than doubles, because doubles it ends up being an even amount of turns. So, but in the Baker for team, there's 10 frames, 4 bowlers. So you'll have 4 of your team, your 4-man team, everybody will bowl twice, and then your first 2 will bowl an additional frame. So some of the athletes may be a little confused by that, but we're working on it, and we're gonna make this all work well. A bowler may only compete in 1 event during competition. So you cannot sign your bowlers up for multiple, like for a singles event and then for a team event at all. They can only compete in 1 event. Only unified champion schools are allowed to participate in unified bowling, doubles, or teams. And each local program is required to have a coach certified in unified sports before beginning practices. So next we're going to move on to our young athlete program for bowling. So our young athletes that are for ages 2 to 7. Not all areas offer young athletes competition, but if you want to participate, you can always go to a different area. The layout will look different for each area. In bowling, for our young athletes, the gutter guards can be up. In our other competitions, we cannot use the gutter guards. You can also use the bowling practice sets that you can set up and use in a different location. A lot of your bowling centers will have these, and they may let you borrow them. It's like it's a regulation linked carpet lane, and it's got some little bowling pins and a little plastic bowling ball, I think. But it just kind of teaches them. It has the arrows marked on it. It teaches them, what to aim for, kind of how to get used to bowling on a lane. It's really neat. Only participation awards are given for this competition, and the main focus is to prepare athletes for traditional competition when they turn 8 years old. So we're going to move on to UCS bowling, and that's Unified Champion Schools. UCS bowling is only for Unified Champion Schools, UCS. Only unified doubles and unified team competitions are allowed. UCS bowling competition is held at the state competition 1 full day. We're going to try to start working with Arkansas Activities Association on logistics for that, maybe kind of pairing with them. And then the Baker method will always be used during UCS bowling. There's no singles, it's just doubles and teams. It's a lot of fun, guys. Moving on to our singles competition. In the single competition, athletes will bowl 2 full games if time permits, and the coaches are encouraged to utilize doubles and team competition whenever possible. So, you know, just to keep it fun for the kids, for the athletes, not kids, for the athletes, try pairing them up. Try to make them a team or a double event. Gives them a little bit more fun. And if I can be honest, in Bologna, you know, everybody has scratches. Everyone has kids that or athletes that can't come for whatever reason. So in Bologna, we generally put our athletes that we think may or may not be able to attend that day in our singles competition. It's just easier for us to do that way. We want to give them a chance, but in all reality, if we're not sure they're gonna be able to go on the day of competition, that's kind of where we let them sit. It's not anything negative about it at all, just kind of how we do it. Okay, and doubles and team bowling. Doubles and team bowling competition will be offered for all male and female doubles and teams. Male and female competition will be separate. All events will consist of 2 games if time allows. Double bowling involves a 2-member team. Team bowling involves a 4-member team. Teams will be placed in the mixed division if they contain both male and female athletes. So continuing on, our final doubles and team series scores will be determined by adding the actual pinfall. Scores may be automatically submitted by a scoring computer. So basically that's what that's saying is you don't have to add up those scores. The computer will add them up for you as they're bowling. All potential bowlers must be registered in a pool of alternates. If an alternate bowler is utilized, the team will bowl during the originally scheduled bowling time, no matter what the age and gender of the new bowler. So if you have a scratch and you need to have a group of people that you have pre-registered and bring with you as a pool of alternates. So if you have one scratched, you plug that one in and they will bowl in the original format, whether it be male, female, whatever. In doubles and team bowling, a bowling team should be made up of similar age and gender. If an area must submit a co-ed team, that team will bowl in the mixed division. If an area must submit doubles or a team made of 2 age group, the doubles or teams will bowl together in the older bowler's age group and time frame. Example, if a 32-year-old female and a 27-year-old male comprise a double team, the team will bowl in the 30-plus-year-old male division. If an alternate is utilized, the team remains in the same time slot and division. So continuing on with our doubles and teams bowling, we have 5 age groups that will be utilized: 8 to 11, 12 to 15, 16 to 21, 22 to 29, and 30 plus. Age groups may be combined based on registration numbers. So you may have a group of 8 to 11-year-olds bowling together at the same time as a group that are 12 to 15, but they'll still be separate when it comes to awards. Ramp bowling. So with our ramp bowling, all bowlers who utilize a ramp for bowling competition must register in the ramp singles division. Ramps will be stationed at specific lanes to be used, meaning ramp bowlers may not bowl on a lane with their team. This can be avoided if a team brings their own ramp. Ramp bowlers will only bowl one complete game during state competition. Okay, proper ball choice. This is kind of a big one. So I guess I didn't say at the beginning is that I coach youth bowling for Conway Family Bowl for Tri-County Youth Association, and proper ball choice is probably one of the main things that we teach. If the ball doesn't fit, you may end up hurting the athlete, definitely putting a strain where you wouldn't have to if you just took a few minutes to find that proper ball. So if you're using a conventional grip ball, which just about unless you have your own ball, that's what the bowling alleys all have, is a conventional grip. Your fingers will be placed down to the second knuckle joint in the mid portion of both fingers. So you put your thumb all the way down into the ball, and then your fingers, your two fingers, all the way up to the knuckle. So with that, to get the ball to fit your hand properly, first you test your thumb hole. If it sticks at all, you need to find one with a bigger thumb hole. After that, you will put your thumb all the way in and lay your hand flat across the ball. Where your knuckles bend in the middle here, that is where the holes should touch. The middle of that should be where the finger holes go. So you're basically at a claw. So anything longer than that, the span longer than that, is going to put a strain. Anything shorter than that, your fingers may kind of get stuck in there some. So it takes a while to find that right ball, but it makes all the difference. Now, weight of the ball is another big thing that we coach. I have a lot of parents that underestimate and a lot of parents that overestimate what their kid or athlete can handle. So one rule of thumb is to determine your weight of your bowling ball is the closest to 10% of your body weight. Now, this is for younger athletes. So like if your athlete weighs 60 pounds, a 6-pound ball is appropriate. If your athlete weighs 100 pounds, a 10-pound ball is appropriate, as long as they are physically able to handle that weight. Y'all know your athletes better than anyone, so you make that decision. But basically, the lighter a ball weighs, the more it's going to curve off into that gutter as it gets down the lane. So, because most of our athletes don't really push the ball and throw it with much force or speed, as the ball goes down the lane, if it's a very light ball, it's going to creak over into the gutter. So the heavier the ball that appropriately fits your athlete, the straighter it's going to roll. Because we've all seen that one poor ball that just goes down to the end and then flops off in the gutter, and everybody's so sad because it looks so good when he let it go. But so that's a good rule of thumb. And I have quite a few typos in that. I was in a hurry. So it isn't foolproof. It doesn't take into account the massive variance of factors that could prohibit someone who weighs a certain amount from throwing a ball. So basically that 10% of your body weight, some people say for young athletes, however many pounds for their age. But you as coaches, you know your athletes, so y'all make that final choice. Okay, So ball placement, as far as where do I look, what do I aim for? So right-handed bowlers, when we're looking at the bowling lane, we have a row of dots and we have a row of arrows. And then further down, you have your pins. So we teach to look at the arrows. For your younger athletes, you might have them look at the dots because a little bit closer to where they are, or if they have a vision issue, you may have them look at the dots. But we teach to look at the arrows. So for right-handed bowlers, you start counting from the right side. You count 3 arrows in, and that's where you want your ball to roll across whenever they let go of the ball. For your left-handed bowlers, you aim from the 3rd arrow from the left of the lane, so that you start at the left hand, count 3. It's basically 1 arrow out from center. That's where you're wanting them to aim, because as their ball rolls, it's gonna kind of hook into the center more for most people. If not, there's a lot of kids that can't understand that, a lot of athletes that can't understand that in our group, and I just tell them aim for the middle. We get what we get, aim for the middle. If your ball is hitting too far left, move over a little, 2 boards at a time, and the boards are the boards you're standing on. They're about 1 inch wide. You move 2 to 3 boards to the left and still aim at that 3rd arrow from whichever side you are. If your ball is hitting too far right, you move over a little at a time, 2 to 3 boards to the right, and aim at the original. I know it sounds backwards, but that's the I guess the angles and all that. That's just how it is. You can also, if your ball is hitting too far over, you can move forward a little bit or move backwards a little bit, and it gives your ball a little bit more time or a little bit less time to get to where it's going. Confusing, yes. But y'all can just play with that. And that's basically for your athletes that have a little bit more skill, maybe have been doing a little bit longer, that really want to learn why this, why does it do this? So, and I've seen this is my opinion, and this is what we coach. So when you're picking up that 7 pin, that's the one when after you've knocked all down but 1 pin, and it's that lonely little pin on the left. We move all the way to the right and we hit the center. It gives you a larger target area. Why are you laughing at me? It gives you a larger target area than if you go to that same side and try to roll the ball down the rail, because that's either going to fall off or it's going to pass it up. So if you're going at an angle, then you've got a bigger area to hit the pin. So basically, 7 pin, you want to move all the way opposite. 10 pin, that's that mean pin that sticks on the right-hand side. You want to move all the way to the left, same scenario. Aim for the middle, and hopefully you'll get it. 10 pin's hard. It's not treated me well. So
I'm laughing around it because I learned so much just now in that one slide.
For sure. Also, Wanda, I want to apologize for the last slide. I did not grab your new PowerPoint, so all of those typos were not your fault.
Oh.
They quickly tried to type and add to this PowerPoint from your slides that you sent in an email that I did not see until after you started. And I was typing and not looking at what I was typing and adding.
I thought I did it.
No, it was so I was just editing as you said. I had lots of typos in that. Oh, my bad. But I have now fixed it.
Yay!
So sorry. That's
okay.
My fault. So that's what I was laughing about. Is I sent Irvin a text, and I was like, that was totally me. And then when you saw us laughing, I forgot she can see us. So sorry.
That's
But
okay. It's all fun.
yes, my bad.
No problem. So that's a lot of information right there, and it's a lot to get to understand. I've been bowling for many, many years, and I still don't understand it a lot of time. I try to fight it. No, it's going this way. I'm supposed to go that way. Just take my word for it. And if all else fails, sometimes my athletes get really frustrated with me because I really try. This is one thing I do know. And I really try, and they're just not having it. They're going to do it their way, and that's fine. That's fine. It's all, the ones that want to maybe get a little better, I'll spend a little bit more time with them, and the ones that just want to be out there for the day having a good time, that's great. We're just have fun. So okay, additional resources, we have bowl.com. That is, bowl.com is the United States Bowling Congress website. They have lots and lots and lots of information on there. So like you can get lost on there forever. They have so much information. Video tips, we have bowlingitrc.com. They have lots of good videos for you to watch, step-by-step videos. YouTube always have great videos. If you're letting your athletes look them up on their own, you might want to be specific about which ones that they watch, because they may come and try to do some crazy stuff that they've seen on YouTube, and we don't want that. We don't want two-handed bowlers right now. Not good. So also a little tip that I have picked up working with our youth bowlers, if you can get a little, like a Nerf mini football, and you're basically just tossing it underhanded to someone, that kind of mimics the posture that they need for their bowling ball. And of course it's not as heavy and the same shape, but it gives them that practice for their arm placement. So what they would do is they would just find someone, or they could do it by themselves, I guess, a mini Nerf football, throw in it underhanded, and it kind of rolls off your hand the way that a bowling ball should roll off. Oh, and I guess that would be it. Thank you all.
At this time, we'll just open it up for any questions that anyone has. I see Cindy says, do any schools take students to bowling lanes to practice, or do they practice at school with practice kits? Cindy, they do both. A lot of schools have partnerships with bowling alleys, and they'll allow them to do it for free. Some schools pay, and they ask their parents to send money. Some schools will help and put some of the budget in, and they budget it into their school budgets. And then some schools are UCS schools, and UCS funds will help pay for some at-school practice kits. So there's lots of different things that they do. It just kind of depends, but they do both. And Rhonda, you can talk about what your school does if you want to.
Yes, our school, we are very fortunate at Bologna. Our athletic director, our superintendent, they are very good to us. We have a budget, and we our school pays for, we get to go three different times. We do one a week for 3 weeks at the bowling center. And we generally try to get in at least 2 games each time we go. And then other than that, we just practice it at school, doing little drills and stuff. But yes, I mean, we are very fortunate in Bologna that that is included in our budget.
And I'm sorry, Rhonda, just to add on to that, definitely at this moment of time, just thinking about everything that's going on right now with COVID-19, just to inform everyone, we pretty much have what they call a shelter in place. So that means there's no training or competitions to be held at this moment under Special Olympics. So we are working on a plan, which we should have out to everyone in the next few weeks or so. So just remember at this time, we're definitely encouraging everyone to do something from home, possibly send your athletes, I keep saying YouTube a lot, but some good YouTube videos that they can do from home just to stay in shape and just to be active. So just keep that in mind as well as we move forward.
Okay, Karen says, thank you. Amanda said, sorry she was late joining. This is not specific to this training, but she has sent in previous training certifications and has not heard anything. Is there something to do?
All right, there we go. Amanda, yes, I will check on it for you. I'm pretty sure I have yours and a few others that are on the call. I haven't gotten a chance to start sending out any certificates or lanyards at the moment, but most of the time after the calls, you receive a certificate to let you know that you finished the training. So please keep an eye out for that. I'm looking to start those here in the next week or so. So coaches that have sent in their packets will start seeing something coming their way. All right, so I was trying to see if we had any more questions. I know we have about 20 more minutes. So what I'm gonna do real fast, yep.
Hey, Irvin, will you do me a favor and also cover So Ready? Just since we did send out just kind of, hey, we're doing
Okay,
something. We
all
don't
right,
have to go into detail. I did say that we've got a plan in place because we
gotcha.
did send it out in the newsletter yesterday. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now so you can take
I was
over.
I was about to say if you can pull So Ready up real fast.
And Audrey said that she did learn a lot. Rhonda, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you,
You're
Rhonda.
welcome. My pleasure.
And I'm sorry I butchered that.
Okay.
Bad. What did you want me to do? Pull up.
Pull up. So ready. What I'll do is real fast. I'll just go through our coaches training, and
Okay.
then we can get into So Ready. This won't take long at all. For any coaches that have questions, just of course contact us, and we'll definitely inform you. But SpecialOlympicsArkansas.org is the website. First off, the calendar. If you're not familiar with the calendar, this is it. We update it with every training or competition that comes across the table. So with it, usually for competitions or trainings, it'll start with the area. So you'll see area 3 and what the competition or training is. And when you click on it, it'll look pretty similar to this with all of the information needed and the POC or the person to contact in that situation. So please keep that in mind for anything. I know sometimes emails don't get through a lot and we have those issues, but the calendar will always be there for you. Next thing is get involved. So get involved for those new coaches. We're going to start here, the athlete portal. So if you have an athlete that needs to register for Special Olympics Arkansas, we have a new athlete participation packet right here. And it's just one packet that has everything they need from the athlete information form, release form, and the medical form, and check boxes as well, just so you can double check to make sure that all of that information is there. But as you can see, it's just everything you need. At first, it was multiple pages on the website, but this is just one packet for each athlete to complete. So also remember with the athlete medical, the first 2 pages are the health history that can be filled out by parents, guardians, or caregivers. And the second 2 pages must be filled out by a licensed medical professional. So just keep that in mind as well. All right, so going back to get involved, and we're going to dive into the new coaches training and progression plan. First, right here, 2020 virtual coaches education menu. If you haven't signed up, our last training for this menu is Thursday, which is floor hockey. So if you haven't signed up for it, please do so now. But at the bottom of this one, there's a few resources for coaches. One big one we've been getting a lot of good feedback about was the one that Monica McKinney shared, was just a simple practice layout, a nice little walkthrough. I know a lot of coaches are utilizing that at the moment. But also you'll find a SOAR workout video, which is a CrossFit video that was done by a CrossFit group in Northwest Arkansas. We have our coach's guidebook full of hydration, nutrition, injury prevention tips for coaches, amongst other things. Concussion card is another big one. So for those who have taken the concussion training, I'll just show you this one. It's just quick reminders of what to look for in case of a concussion. So a good little tool for coaches to have as well. So moving forward, after you click on the coaches tab, you'll see the coach training and progression plan. You'll click here. And then towards the bottom, I'm just gonna jump down here. I know a lot of you have seen this already, so a little repetitive for some, but the elective courses at the bottom, these are the courses that coaches can take to become recertified in a course. In a sport. So for instance, if let's say if today was your first time becoming certified in bowling, in 3 years when you're becoming recertified, you can either take a online course as the one today. You can attend an in-person training, or you can take one of these courses to become recertified. And we just wanted to give coaches the opportunity just to expand their knowledge on coaching and give them more options. One thing that you'll definitely see, I'm definitely looking for more courses, but officiating courses is something that we're definitely going to try to get a lot of. That's based off a lot of area directors have thought that was a great idea as far as if there was a competition in your area, and let's say if you were coaching, you had a little break, we would love for those coaches to step up and officiate a game or a match and help keep that time going as much as possible. So also for any courses of this nature, if there are any that you have as a school teacher or in your profession that you think would be beneficial to any of our coaches within Special Olympics Arkansas, just send those to us so we can take a look at them, and we'll add as many as we can on this list for coaches to take. Also, another side note, some of the courses have a fee to them. Special Olympics Arkansas cannot cover those fees for every single coach, so please keep that in mind. There are a few free courses as well, but again, there are some that have a cost to them. So the training and progression plan, you'll find it right here. Download this entire checklist for yourself here. I know someone said I always go over this one, but I just want to show everyone the exact plan itself. This is pretty much an overview of the plan as well. So, but to download this entire checklist yourself, it comes with the checklist as well. Of course, there are 4 sections. You can become a certified coach, bronze level coach, silver level coach, or gold level coach. For bronze, silver, and gold, you receive a lanyard as you achieve those levels. For gold level, you'll receive that lanyard as well as a t-shirt. So just a little incentive to our coaches, and definitely want to do something to say thank you for all of your hard work. So as I said, we want to make it as a checklist for everyone. So it's a pretty simple walkthrough. You'll start with protective behaviors, one of these two concussion courses, so either NFHS or CDC, and you must have a general orientation. You must have a Class A volunteer form or which is our background check, and you must be certified in a minimum of one sport. And so that would be an in-person training or online sport-specific training, which you guys just went through with Rhonda. Maintain your sports certification. That's your recertification after every 3 years. And that's when you'll take one of those courses that I just showed you guys. And of course, those who are coaching unified sports must take the coaching unified sports course. For time purposes, I won't go through every single thing. The layout is right here for everyone, and we try to attach anything that you'll need as far as resources to it. So if you have any questions, please let us know. And I think that's a quick run through.
All right, so I'm gonna share back this screen. I'm taking it back.
Yep.
All right, so this is the newsletter. If you do not receive it, you should. Whoop. And this is our announcement for the So Ready conference. The So Ready conference is going to be a Zoom virtual conference. It will be on July 30th from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We will have registration information coming to you soon, but we want you to go ahead and block off that day and time. It will have lots and lots of information. If you're from a school, you probably want more than one person attending from your school. There will be breakout sessions. So you will want a couple people coming from your sessions or coming from your school so you can go to both sessions. Or agency, not just school. So sorry. I've got my school cap on. But you do want several people coming from your group to attend. Again, we will have lots of the new protocol that we've got going. We'll be sending this information out to you soon, like in the next few days for the registration. So be looking for it. We'll have the announcement probably on our Facebook, but also sent out through email channels. But let us know if you have any questions. Irvin, there were a couple more things on here.
Okay.
Andrea said all classes we already took and turned in paperwork. Will we receive notice when we have been approved to be a coach, or will we automatically be one? I haven't received anything, and some of us completed it a few months ago.
Yes, definitely gonna get to it. I would definitely say no news is good news. So with it, we're running background checks as well, which we were trying to iron out some things with the COVID-19 stuff and all that. But again, no news is good news, and you should start receiving paperwork or information here in the next week or so.
Francis said, these are some great resources. Thank you so much. Rich said, can we take those courses to become certified in a sport the first time if we miss the course that was offered online already?
No, for a new sport, you must take an in-person training or an online certification, sort of like the one today. That's to be the initial coach's certification for a sport. If you're becoming recertified, that's when you can take any of those courses.
Francis said our team sped team has PD already scheduled for that day with a sad face. Sorry, Francis. Norma said, I already have another PD scheduled for that day. Is there any way we can get information from So Ready? We are recording it.
Yes, we are definitely recording it, and definitely after July 30th, after the conference, we'll be sending out a ton of information. It's just if you're on the call, you'll definitely retain a lot more during that time. Also, with that said, for those who haven't seen this yet, if you haven't signed up for our newsletter, please do so. Then you can just go to specialolympics.org, and then at the very bottom, you can put your email into the mailing list, and that way you'll receive all of that information and much more. So
Crystal said she's really enjoyed this class. Thank you. Thank you, Crystal. All right. The chat box. Let's see. We've got, I gotta go back up. Sorry. We read that one, Leanne. Thank you. Wendy said, thank you, Rhonda.
Welcome.
Cindy said the packet, what packets do we need to send in? Well, the packets that we send in to be certified and track and field work, or is it a separate item?
it'll be the same. It'll just be that packet that I showed on the under the coaches tab. So that download the new coach training and progression plan with the checklist. You'll just send that packet in with any certifications that you have. So after you finish this course, you will be emailed the certification. After the concussion course, and pretty much every course you take, you'll receive some sort of certification. And we just need that proof that you've went through those steps. Also, with the question about courses, trainings that were missed, we are looking to add more trainings for another menu set. I'm not sure what those sports will be, but we'll keep everyone updated when we'll schedule them and all of that good news.
All right. Skip said people are asking, what if they work? Can they catch up on SOAR Ready? So Ready. Okay. We are going to record it. So, but we really do encourage you to be on the call if at all possible. What certification do we need to turn in for today's bowling certification? Or what do we need to turn in? You will get an email after today regarding that. Skip said, I know that some would love love training at night. I'm assuming talking about the sports specific stuff, and we have offered some at night, and we are looking to add some more in the future, maybe on the third round, looking to do some more because we have had that feedback. Thank you. Kayla said, is So Ready new or something we do each year? It is new. With this COVID, it is our answer to moving forward, correct? Sorry, or
yes.
Yes, after 6 p.m. for night trainings. Okay. Perfect.
And so ready is just our plan to move forward after the COVID-19. So we're still working on the plan officially to finish and present, but that will be our plan to move forward as far as when we can hold competitions, what competitions can we hold, what kind of trainings can we hold, all that good stuff. So hopefully we'll have a good plan that'll work out. It'll be great.
Lauren said, I went through the soccer course in this course and I have not received certification for soccer. That was just this week or last week?
Last week.
Might not have sent it out yet, Lauren. Just give her a few more days. She might not have emailed yet. Shara said, option to email forms into you if someone does not have a printer. Yes, just email them to Irv.
Yeah, email will be a lot better for sure, because I know, especially with paperwork that we get and mail, it could get lost. But in email, at least you'll have a copy as well, and then we'll have a copy. So you can always say, hey, I emailed it on June 30th. Go check your email. And I'll be like, okay.
My bad. You're welcome, Kayla. Norma said, thank you for providing these Zoom trainings. You're welcome, Norma. Okay, it is 2:56. Thank you, Rhonda, for
yes, thank you, Rhonda.
and doing
Welcome.
the training. You did a great job. Thank you guys for taking up. We had 40 participants on this call, 41. I mean, that's a huge number. So this
Oh,
one was
yes.
needed training. Obviously, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. Irv, thanks for getting on too.
Of course. Thank you so much, Rhonda. We greatly appreciate it. I need to go
you.
work on my bowling skills too now, for sure. Learn so much as well. But thank everyone for jumping on. Again, we're gonna try to bring some more trainings your way after we iron out a few things and see what the feedback is. So thank you
Absolutely.
all.
Bye, guys. Have a
Bye. Thank you, guys.
bye.